Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long birthdays, 1975. A YouTuber's on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends music about Long Boys Bros 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post 1975. Yeah, not so much a Wednesday vlog this week. I'm quite surprised. I mean, you've read the title. My Wii U Game Collection. Excuse me. No beer this morning. It's really warm, even though it's really early and it's really bright. And yeah, not good sleeping conditions for those of us who have to sleep during the day. Plus, I'm not a massive fan of summer, but yeah, Pepsi Max, I need your nutrients. It's now overtaken Diet Coke as my favourite diet beverage, and I need its nutrients because its aspartame helps preserve and keep my bones young for future generations to dig up and learn from. Yeah, so after the video I did last week where I talked about, you know, the end of a system's life and does it kind of, you know, put a downer on it for you, I received quite a lot of requests for people to show my Wii U Game Collection. I don't normally do collection videos, but I thought I would show this, and it's not like a review or anything in depth about any of them. I mean, most of these have gameplays on if you search my channel. It is literally just, you know, to show off the games I've got. Now, what's interesting, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That's solid copy, 25 because one's on loan, and I got some digital downloads. But yeah, what's interesting is that may not sound like a massive collection for a system I've owned for 2 years, but to put it into perspective, that's every one of those I've bought. I've kept even my Wii, my beloved Wii. I recycle the games and take them into sort of cash converters or Pink Planet, and sorry, Windy Pops. Oh, Pepsi Max, I love you, but that's awkward on camera. Yeah, my 360 game collection, I constantly rotate, unless it's something I absolutely love and is a really, really solid game that I enjoy, one of my favourite games, constantly rotate those and trade them against other games to keep playing and experiencing as many games as I can. But not with this system. And also, there's not a massive amount of games. What I will probably, now I know that this system's life is finite, be stepping up for what I know are good games, you know, purchasing and stuff like that to make sure they're all up to date for when, you know, the system eventually goes. But I don't buy loads of games because I try and get the most out of them. I won't say I always complete them because I don't. Sometimes it's inevitable that you just naturally lose interest into a game, or you get to a point where maybe, I know people use this phrase all the time, or maybe it's just broken, you give up and walk away. So I haven't completed all of these, but the majority of these I have completed, and yeah, the reason it's not a massive game collection is I've played the balls out of every single one of these, bar from a couple that are kind of in my list to play once I've finished the ones that I'm currently on. Right, where should we start? Some of them might seem odd titles, but then that comes down to seeing something in the wild on a good price when you go out thrifting and stuff like that. But the first game I'm going to show, because it's the one I picked up most recently last week, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's not got a massive campaign, I'm about halfway through it, and that's Star Fox Zero. This game is absolutely epic. It boggles the mind that it took so long for us to get another entry into this beloved franchise. I mean, what was the last one? Star Fox Adventures on the GameCube, which is not even technically a real Star Fox game. This is brilliant. Lots of people online are complaining about the motion controls. You can't turn them off in their entirety, but you can certainly, you know, reduce their need. So, but I just basically use them for boss fights, and I'm loving it. Visually, it's absolutely stunning. It is a Star Fox game. It really is a Star Fox game. Absolutely fantastic. I might do a full roundup on it once I've completed it. Yeah, that's an absolutely amazing title. You know, there's that whole thing where people piss and moan, a few of these are third party, piss and moan about the problem with the Wii U being it's all first party titles. First party titles. But then I've said that many times, and that's not me defending it against the bastards as such. It's generally how I feel, which is you buy a Nintendo console. It's nice to have third party, but generally most of us who buy a Nintendo console buy it for, you know, Nintendo games. Right, excuse me. Next one as well, absolutely stonker. There's a gameplay of Star Fox on my channel, by the way, First Impressions. There's one of these unlisted because I took the original one down when YouTube were getting all assy about copyright. New Super Mario Brothers U. This is an absolutely fantastic game, and what's great about most of these games is you don't just have to play them with the Wii U pad, which seems to be quite a lot of people's criticism. I play most of them with the Game Pro pad, which is an absolutely fantastic pad, and I got mine for a tenner. I do use the Wii U pad on, and it's still a nice pad, don't get me wrong, on the games that require it, or use it to, genuinely, to be intuitive and innovative in a game. But yeah, you can play this with the Wiimote turned sideways, which I wouldn't recommend. The Game Pro pad, the actual Wii U pad. It is, think what it was like on the Wii. It's pretty much the same game but in HD. But then, as I always say, why reinvent the wheel? If it's not broken, don't fix it. Absolutely, classic, Mario side-scrolling platformer. Very many nods to all the original ones. Also, you got this insane mode where you compete against your mates. I adore this game, and it's cheap as chips now. I really, really recommend it. Do you know what's funny is almost all of these have the redemption codes in that I can't redeem anymore, because it was such a long-winded, arsey way of putting something in. I simply couldn't be bothered. Well, here you go. Here's a third-party game. Now, I leave it to Sega to still be people who produce third-party games, and that was Sonic All-Star Racing Transformed. Yeah, this was on many, sorry about the glare, many other systems, but, who cares? This is the system I own it on. Ed T1138 bought me this. Thank you very much, Ed. It was a while ago, and it's a brilliant, racer. It's not up there with Mario Kart 8, but then what's going to be? But it's super fun, super polished, and just, just great with your mates. And that's another thing I like, playing against your mates on the Wii U. That's another thing that seems to be kind of a negativity towards it, which is no good for sort of playing multiplayer across not on the screen and stuff like that, or online, and that's bollocks. This is one I picked up because it was a tenner. And it's basically a collection of party games, and would I recommend it? I don't know how cheap it is now, but I would for a tenner, and that's why I bought it. And it's Nintendo Land. There's some real, great little fun games on it. It's a mixed bag, but it's made to be sort of quick, disposable, and played with your mates, and that's what it is. It's no Mario Party or anything like that, but it is, again, I do bring price into stuff to see, holy shit, it's got a manual as well. To factor in the price will determine how much enjoyment you get out of it, because you are more lenient on a game if it doesn't cost an absolute bloody fortune. But yeah, the Zelda game on this is absolutely Zelda. Link game on this is absolutely awesome. But then it's not really a Link or Zelda game, if you know what I mean. It's a party game, but. Yeah, like I said, you can probably buy this for like a $5, but I had a laugh on it. Again, maybe because it didn't cost me an absolute fortune. Oh, this one I got a love-hate relationship with, much like its predecessor on the Wii. I would recommend it. Some of these still, though, do actually hold their value. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Obviously, it's not Rare anymore. The company, not the buying the game, I should say. This game is brilliant. It's super fun. It's super polished until you get a few levels in, and then it becomes bastard. Well, at least to me, I never said I was the greatest games player. There's a gameplay of this on my channel. It becomes bastard hard, and then sometimes you really do have to commit levels to memory and stuff like that. But then, in its defense, if you played the previous one, which is a great game on the Wii, does it suffer from the same fault? Is it a fault? No, it's just challenging. Too many games these days aren't. Yeah, that's balls-riffly hard as well. But I've had many hours on this. Got great, fun, and also many hours of this are shouting at the telly. But yeah, if you like Donkey Kong and you want to, this is a stunning game, by the way. Definitely check it out. This one is an absolutely fantastic game. I remember when it was announced, it got a load of flack because it's a sequel to a 3DS game, which was Super Mario 3D Land. But yeah, Super Mario 3D World. This is brilliant. It's not, I can't see where the glare is. Curse you, son. It's not really Mario 64 territory or anything like that. But it is what Nintendo does well. Deep, incredibly playable. Loads of hidden secrets, stuff like that. Rewarding gameplay. It's absolutely fantastic. Brilliant graphics, absolutely brilliant gameplay of this on my channel. Really can't recommend this highly enough. This is, forget what people say, it's just an updated version of the I forgot what I was going to say then. Oh, the 3DS, never mind, just got home from work, the 3DS version. It really is, it's an absolutely superb standalone title that's obviously based on that style and mechanic of gameplay. This one hasn't aged particularly well, and it's super cheap, but I think I paid full price for it. Zombie U. I mean, it was downloadable free on the PlayStation Network, wasn't it? This makes great use of the pad. This is before Ubisoft failed on the Wii U, but yeah. How shall I explain it? It's hard. It's very, very atmospheric, dripping in atmosphere, but sometimes it can get incredibly frustrating. And some of the tasks, you see what you mean when you play it. And if you have played it, leave a comment down below. It can feel very long-winded in what you have to do. If I paid a tenner for it now, I'd probably be far more forgiving on it. I mean, the thing is though, if you like zombies like me, then the fact that it's drenched in atmosphere and it's got zombies in and you can take people's heads off with a cricket bat, zombies' heads off, means it was awesome. It's just, once you've played it for a bit, its charm, shall we say, starts to wear off. Right, this is an interesting one, because it's probably the no, sorry, I'm confusing it. There's two Batman games on here. We'll go with this one first. This is an interesting one because it's probably the most linear of all of the Batman games, and this goes across all systems as well, and that would be Batman Arkham Origins. My brother Jason got me this for Christmas year before last. I really like it though because it's Batman, it's super polished, it's nowhere near as deep. That was my phone, I shat my pants. It's nowhere near as deep as, you know, Arkham City, because that's obviously pretty much open. Well, no, we know what I mean. This is very, very linear, formulaic, but it's Batman and it's atmospheric and it's graphically lovely and it's, you know, just nice touches and nods, and if you like Batman, it's, you know, you'll love it all day long, plus it's super, super cheap as well. Not as cheap as this was, and that was 2 years ago. I think I got this for a £5. Batman Arkham City Armored Edition. This game is amazing, still graphically stunning. It's got all the downloadable content you got from the other systems included on the disc. That's one great thing you do get with the Wii U and a lot of games, but this game is absolutely amazing. And the fact that it's Arkham City is obviously basically a prison as a city. Because I always wondered before I got to play it or knew this story, why isn't it Gotham City? Why is it Arkham City? Just to tie in with the fact that the first game was set in Arkham Asylum. Excuse me. But yeah, this is fantastic. It's huge, and it does have generally really good use of the Wii U pad. I really enjoy it, and it's certainly for a £5 you can't go wrong. This was because I saw it brand new at the time upon release for £12. Whether that's a reflection of it not being very good, I like it. The intro's stunning. I like it because I like the original on the original Wii. Obviously it's a multi-platform game. That would be Epic Mickey 2 The Power of 2. I mean, it helps if you like Disney. I do like Disney. It's got a really great mechanic of creating and uncreating things with the, like, try not to give spoilers here if you haven't played these games, but try and, like, you know, get you to kind of understand what they are. With your, like, your magic paintbrush. There's so many nods to old school original Disney characters that dropped off the radar and people forgot all about years, and I'm talking decades and decades ago, but they put them in that game, and it's absolutely, that stuff like that is fantastic. As is this game. Gameplay of this game is absolutely the dog's dangly bits. Most Wanted U. It's got all the extra content as a standard. It's got exclusive features. It looks absolutely fantastic. It does. It's a brilliant Need for Speed game. Because let's be honest, Need for Speeds are like Star Trek movies, aren't they? Sort of every other one is shit. No, this is a brilliant game. Looks stunning. Great fun. I can't, you know. This was 20 quid. That's probably a year or so ago. Here's two ones I bought brand new because they were super cheap. I'm not gonna lie, they're not great. Well, no, they're not great. And that was just, like I said, because they were super cheap. This was like literally when they just came out at Tesco's. Probably the only supermarket I know that still carries Wii U games. Disney Planes Fire and Rescue, I think it's pretty much a straight upscale port of the Wii game. It's super fucking shallow and everything like that. I don't know what I was expecting. I think because it's made by Little Orbit, don't know who they are, because it was based on Disney game or Disney. Or sorry, basing it upon the fact that Epic Mickey 2 is great, but that's actually Disney, isn't it? This, yeah, if you see it for a couple of quid, then it's worth fun, but it's clearly aimed at kids. Like I said, my bad, I don't know what I was expecting. Gameplay of that. I wouldn't bother watching it. This isn't so bad. Again, I think this is just an upscale port of the Wii version, but I bought this because, again, it was really, really cheap, and I like the penguins from Madagascar. And, yeah, it's penguins from Madagascar. Gameplay of this. Basically, it's just standard, you know, polished side-scrolling platformer with tasks, you know, simple tasks, no-brainer tasks to do. It's been ages since I've seen the movie. What is it? Hello, Skipper, Kowalski, Rico, go on stealth operations and top secret locations from the movie and beyond. Oh, I can't remember. It wasn't a movie. You got rescued, but never mind. That's a great game. If you see that, super cheap. Definitely give that, you know, a pick up. This is Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man. It's my brother bought me it super cheap off the web. That's why it's not in a plastic case. Brilliant game. Port of obviously the 360 version or the PlayStation 3 version. Graphically very, 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 very nice. There's a lot of tearing in it compared to those versions, but it's an open world Spider-Man game. Like one of my favourite Spider-Man games of all time is Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube. It's think that, but even, you know, more sort of polished, obviously, and epic beyond the beams of greatness. Don't know if that's a real phrase. And voice actors for the movie. I think the second one's on the Wii U. If I see it cheaply enough, I'll track it down. This is Kirby and the Rainbow Paintbrush. Excuse me while I check the time, because otherwise my camera's going to split it into the two. Awkward pause there. Yeah, I stopped my camera then because for some reason it splits a file above 22 minutes into two. Yeah, this is Kirby and the Rainbow Paintbrush. It's funny because you'd be surprised that some franchises pop up on every Nintendo system. Kirby's one of them, but then you have to wait years for stuff like Star Fox. But yeah, this is really good because I can't explain it. There's a gameplay video, but it's got a really unique control system where you use the stylus. And that's why it's called, you know, the Rainbow Paintbrush. And all I'm going to say is graphically stunning, really, really, really nice graphics. Feels like, you know, like a lot of effort and attention was put into it. I mean, Kirby looks amazing in this. Obviously you've got, you know, skills and stuff like that. But yeah, watch my video to see how you control it, because I can't explain it here, but do so in that. And it's a great game. Right, this one, this is not aged very well. This is Resident Evil Revelations. I think I bought this about 18 months ago for 18 quid. It's a Resident Evil game, you know, like a modern Resident Evil game. So it's by no means an old school Resident Evil game, but unlike most of the sort of modern ones, this was better received, and it feels more like a Resident Evil game than, you know, like 5 and 6 do. And I think, is this based on a 3DS version? I can't remember. I haven't played my 3DS in a while. But yeah, I mean, if you come across this cheap enough, there is a sequel. I don't know if that's on the Wii U. It's held in quite high regard. But yeah, if you come across it cheap enough, I would recommend it. This one, this is a launch game, isn't it? Black Ops 2. I had it on the 360. I would say it looks better on this. It is what it is. It's a Call of Duty game. It's not my favourite because I don't like future warfare. I still think we should go back to either modern day or World War II. Ideally, a World War II Call of Duty game, which wouldn't happen now on the Wii U, would be absolutely dog's bollocks. But yeah, it looks shiny. You know. The greatest thing about it is you can play it with absolutely everything. The Wii U pad, the GamePro pad, the nunchuck and Wiimotes. You can play it like you can do first persons on the Wii, which I still do because I still think that's an amazing control scheme. Works absolutely amazing on this. You can play it with a zapper, or you can play it with a classic pad plugged into your Wiimote. Yeah, it's Call of Duty. You either like Call of Duty or you don't. But I do. This isn't the greatest one, but it's fun for a while and it's super cheap now. And don't. Doug, watch the camera. Oh. Okay, you scared the shit out of me then. She sits in every chair in the house. Another Call of Duty game, Ghost. This is probably my favourite of all the recent Call of Duty games because it's what is it, modern day? Probably a little bit further than that. But it just, I don't know, it just plays a lot better than everything that's come after it. It plays better than Advanced Warfare in my opinion. I can't play Black Ops 3 and I wouldn't want to because it's multiplayer only on 360. But yeah, I really, really like it. Again, all the controls that were on the other version, it is what it is. It's a Call of Duty game. You either like it or you don't. It's Marmite in game form, but yeah, I like it. Again, that's probably my last favourite or decent Call of Duty game. Haven't played this one yet, so I can't tell you anything about it. Assuming, because it's an Ubisoft game, it was a launch title. I've never played any of these in this series. My mates rave and rant about them. Maybe it's me jumping to it this late on is not a good idea. Sorry. Windy pumps. but it's Assassin's Creed 3. It was in cash generators for, was it a tenner? And if I ever see games like, Wii U games and cash converters or cash generators for that, around about that money, I'll just take a chance on it. But it's like I said, it's got heritage and people speak highly of the series. Whether that's a good entry or not, I don't know. No spoilers, please, people, because I want to finish Star Fox before I crack into that. Yoshi's Woolly World, think like Kirby. It's an absolutely gorgeous looking game. It looks like hand knitted characters. It's an update on Yoshi. This is absolutely fantastic. I can't recommend this highly enough. See, this is where Nintendo absolutely shines. And when people bash first party games, I think, if you don't like that or can't appreciate what an amazing game that is, something wrong with you. Right, I bought this because it was, I don't know, was it tenner or something, in cash converters. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, kind of like the one on the Wii, only this is less options. If I paid full price for this, I'd be incredibly pissed off. It looks amazing, it's fun for a bit, it's fun with your mates, but don't go in that chair, Doogie, you're scaring me again. It's, I don't know, for a Nintendo title, it's actually made by them, I don't know. It's just, by their standards, it just lacks effort. Only literally put this in to see if it worked. This was a tenner in Game Scene. I like some of the games in this series. I can't believe they got rid of Michael Ironside. But I've not played all of them. I've heard good things. This again was on the 360, I believe, and the PlayStation 3, and that would be Splinter Cell Blacklist. I do know that it does use the pad, and people rave about how well it uses it and stuff like that, but it's a stealth game, and I'm quite partial to stealth games, so that's why I picked it up. Now, this would be two of the finest games on this system, and this is multiplayer, playing with your friends. This is where Nintendo absolutely excels. Amazing graphics. I don't really need to talk about them, everyone knows about it. Gameplay's on my channel. Mario Kart 8, I mean, the Mario Kart games are all amazing, and this is just absolutely fantastic. I think this is where they turned the sales around to some degree on the Wii U. I remember roughly around about the time I broke my hand, so I couldn't play it for a bit. But this Mario Kart 8 is absolutely amazing. People, if you don't like Mario Kart 8, you're dead inside. And the last game is, again, for exactly the same reason. I have this on my 3DS as well, and that version's amazing. But this is, a franchise that Nintendo revisits, and every time they do, although the last one was a while ago on the Wii, it's just absolute bloody magic. And that would be Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. This is just absolutely fantastic. It's brilliant. Obviously you can use amiibos as you can with most of these games. You can play 8 people at once, which is fantastic. You can transfer data between your 3DS and your 2DS. That and Mario Kart 8 are probably the two best games on the system. I have some digital downloads. I have Hyrule Warriors. See, digital to me shouldn't replace solid state media, but it does have a place. I have Hyrule Warriors, which is an absolutely amazing game, because when I realised it was out, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning, Saturday night, and so obviously I couldn't get it, and I was hankering to play it, so I just bought it and downloaded it, and still having a problem with it being a digital one only. Then I've got, I forget the name of one, I have to put in the descriptive term, it's a Japanese Namco game, I completely can't remember the name, based on an anime, where you've got stretchy hands and shit. And I've got obviously Wind Waker, because that was another great thing Nintendo did, was you got a free game with this, so, and it was, any title as far as I can remember, or titles from a list that were really, really good titles, they weren't pushing out shit. Yeah, so I got Wind Waker, and what are the other ones? That's it, I think. The rest are kind of like, Wii Shop and stuff like that. Oh, I got Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which is a fantastic, really intuitive and ingenious, an original puzzle game. Well, solving puzzle game, because, you wander around. But that's on loan at the moment, as is my Twilight Princess, which I, only played a little bit, but I don't mind putting that out on loan, simply because I'm trying to get some of my mates into the Wii U, while there's still time, because obviously I played and completed the GameCube version and played and completed the original Wii version. So yeah, not a particularly deep video, wasn't supposed to be like that, wasn't supposed to be reviews or anything, but just because there was quite a lot of interest in, what Wii U games I had, so I thought I would share it with you guys. Anyway, there'll probably be a slightly more deep and thoughtful or thought-provoking vlog next week, but yeah, just because I think I had about 15 requests, so on my Facebook inbox. So anyway, yeah, my Wii U collection, not the biggest, but certainly I've had hours of fun out of it, stinkers and all. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.